Armchairing with Buruce Morrow on the One Podcast Network.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Buruce Morrow Show, Armchairing. Thank you for having me today. Before we begin, please subscribe, hit the like button, share, talk about your friends, your family about the show every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Unless we have emergencies like sisters calling, mothers calling, or weather issue. So we're here every Wednesday. I'm sharing, talking about sports, talking like we know everything, like we are doing. We are quarterbacking how a player should play from the couch or from this chair. Welcome. Tonight we talk about Kuminga. What is about dilemma with Kuminga? Yep. Yeah, about dilemma with Kuminga. Kuminga has been talk a lot more than Stephen Curry the last couple of days. If you listen to Warriors Radio, if you read Warriors Twitter, if you read Warriors comments, talk about Warriors fans. Kuminga. Is Kuminga worth it? Steve Kerr made a mistake benching Kuminga. Will Kuminga be traded? We'll talk about that. NFL playoffs. Last week, some teams went away. The Bears, bye-bye. The Bills, bye-bye. The Texans, bye-bye. The 49ers, bye-bye. So we'll recap a little bit and preview the conference finals. This story, I wanted to cover it last week, but we didn't have a show last week. But I wanted to talk about sports journalism. That was my first love. No, that was not my first love. Yeah, that was one of my first loves. I wanted to be a sports journalist, but I listened to people. I listened to people say, "Yeah, you're not gonna make any money doing sports journalist, whatever, don't do it." And then kids, follow your dreams. No, listen. Some people are all right, but follow the dream. I wanted to be a sports journalist, but did not happen. So there was this Jacksonville reporter who said a few comments to the Jacksonville Jaguars coach. We'll cover it. Is it the role of a sports journalist? Can a sports journalist make those type of comments? Was she right to make those comments, or was she wrong? We'll talk about it. Kuminga. So I remember 2021, the draft. Warriors sucked the previous year. Steph Curry was hurt. And the draft dates, Steph Curry was hurt, Klay Thompson was hurt, Draymond didn't want to play, and Warriors suck. And they had the seventh pick. And they picked this guy from the G League Ignite, Jonathan Kuminga. I watched him play in the summer league. I was like, oh, yeah, he's very raw. So I was like, okay, after a couple, if he continue playing, he will be better. But there was something that the Warriors maybe didn't plan on, or they didn't see coming. Didn't see the Warriors trying to win a championship in the 2021-2022, which was Jonathan Kuminga rookie season. And when you look at the roster of the team, me as a someone who follows the Warriors, I follow two teams, the Warriors and the Clippers. But me as a person who follows the Warriors, I didn't expect the team to win, but they had a good start. And Klay Thompson was gonna come. I mean, he missed 2 years, and he was gonna come like during the season. And so we had Steph Curry, of course, Draymond Green, Andre Iguodala, Damian Lee, Kevin Looney, Moses Moody, who was another rookie they drafted. Gary Payton was sensational as a defender, so he was getting minutes. Jordan Poole was emerged. He was getting minutes. Otto Porter, when he was not hurt, he was playing. He was getting minutes. I mean, he could get rebounds and shoot the three and could defend. Toscano Anderson was getting minutes. Two-way player, and then was converged, was getting minutes. Andrew Wiggins was the Andrew Wiggins that nobody saw in Minnesota, was getting minutes. So there was not real a spot for I'm sorry, there was Nemanja Bjelica. I'm sorry if I butcher his name. He was getting minutes from Serbia. And there was not really a spot for Kuminga. I don't believe he played at all in the playoff. I remember Moody play. He's a rookie. But I don't remember Kuminga play at all in the playoff. So the next season, 2022-2023, that was the year of the punch. Hello, Mr. Thomas. Is Kuminga a diamond in the rough? It could be a ruby. I mean, diamond. I don't know. We don't know yet. Maybe he's gonna be a diamond. Is gonna stay in the rough his whole career, or he needs a coach to polish him so the diamond comes out. I don't think Steve Curry is the right guy, but I'm gonna talk about that. So the next year, in 2022-2023 season, that's the year of the punch. Like I just said, a lot of players left the team. I think Otto Porter left the Warriors, went to Toronto Raptors. I remember, I think. Who also left? Who also left? I think Otto Porter left. Bjelica retired. I think Bjelica retired. Otto Porter left. Jordan Poole got punched. And you saw some players on the team. So Anthony Lamb, I don't think he's in the NBA anymore. He was getting a lot of minutes. Jermichael Green, I don't think he's in the NBA anymore. Was getting a lot of minutes. Kuminga was still started to get some minutes, but those people were getting more minutes than him. James Wiseman was still on the team, but was hurt all the time. Hurt. And there was a trade of Wiseman for Gary Payton. Gary Payton left to go to Portland, but during the season, Wiseman was traded for Gary Payton. And you saw Ty Jerome getting minutes, DiVincenzo getting minutes. I mean, there was a small ball lineup. Anthony Lamb was getting more minutes than Kuminga. Wiggins disappeared for a couple of months, whatever. And yeah, that season, Kuminga was not getting minutes as much as he should. I mean, he was getting some minutes, but not as much as he should. In 2023, 2024, I think he's getting minutes. The roster move change again, and Iguodala retired. I think that was the last year. of Klay Thompson on the team. Klay Thompson was not happy. They traded Jordan Poole for Chris Paul. That was it was like a salary dump. Saric, he was on the team, but he could not play a lick of defense. The team was not very good. Not very good. Kuminga started to get some minutes on that team. But they lost in the play-in, I believe, to the Sacramento Kings. And that's the famous game where Klay Thompson was 0 for 10. And from 3. Yeah, Kuminga, he was getting some minutes, but he was not really getting minutes because Andrew was there. Draymond, yeah. Last season, Kuminga started, and then he got hurt. When he got hurt, the team struggled a little bit, and then they traded for Jimmy Butler. Then that's when we started to hear Mr. Kerr, the head coach of the Warriors, saying he does not fit on the team. Me as someone, I'm not a coach, and I played basketball in high school, but I don't know anything. I started to wonder, why can't he fit? Why can't he fit with Draymond and Butler? With a team who's very challenged with height, why can't he fit? And some of the stuff that they blame Kuminga for, the vets were doing it. The ancient players on the team was doing it. To me, the issue is not with Kuminga. I think the issue is Draymond Green. Draymond Green is past his prime. And there's a sentimental attachment that's a lot of Warriors fans have Draymond Green. But when you watch the game, especially this year, he's not the same player. He's not the same player. There's no way I'm starting Draymond Green over Jonathan Kuminga. I'm sorry. There's no way I'm starting Draymond Green over Gay Santos. But there's a connection between Draymond Green and Steph Curry. I think it's a sentimental start of Draymond starting. The coach is so loyal to Draymond. That's why he's starting him. And when you have non-shooters, I don't think Kuminga can shoot threes, but that's not his game. He cannot sit. He cannot be beyond the 3-point line and shooting. And the system fits Steph Curry. Steph Curry running around, you set pick for him, and he shoot the threes. And then when sometimes he might need a break, he turns around and run, and then you have 3-point shooters around him. And you already have Jimmy Butler. He can shoot the three, but he's not really a 3-point shooter. And you have Draymond Green. He hits some threes, but he's not really a 3-point shooter. And now you have Kuminga. I can understand what Kerr is thinking when he doesn't want to start Kuminga, but you cannot be shooting the threes all the time. It doesn't work. Warriors lost so many games because they've been shooting so many bad threes. I remember 15 of 42, or there's games 15 of 42, 13 of 48 or something, because they keep shooting threes. And Kuminga can go to the basket. He can go to the basket. So, okay, you don't want Kuminga to start. Okay, I understand. But why can't he play from the bench? Why can't he play from the bench? I don't understand why The guy had 16 DNPs from December 18 to last night. 16 for no reason. Steve Kerr has been considered one of the greatest coaches of all time. Yeah, they said he's one of the greatest coaches of all time. Okay, that's fine. But as a coach, you have to make adjustments. You have to make adjustments. I've seen some of those players that they play over Kuminga. They have terrible games, like Pods. I'm not like those Pods hater. I've seen so many podcasts. They really hate the dude. They really hate Braden Pozinski because he's arrogant. He has a big ego. Maybe that's what brought him to the league. That's why he's like this. And to stay in the league, he has to act that way. But he had some crushed trees. You have to admit, so many times, Pods has been crushed for the Warriors. But there's no way I am not playing Kuminga. Some of the minutes that you give, so many minutes to Pods, he's like the third player that played the most on the Warriors. And you're not giving Kuminga those minutes? He cannot play on the bench. You play so many guards together, small, very small lineups, and one big. Warriors should have won so many. The Warriors should have won like 10 games they lost. I've seen like 10 games the Warriors should have won. Now with Jimmy Butler out of the season, you need games. You need wins now. You're going to need wins. You're going to need wins. You have to comment. You have to congratulate Kuminga for being a professional. So many players would have been moody and struggle last night. And last night, he played. He played decent to me. He played great for a player who hasn't played for a month. And I've seen people blame Kerr. Kerr should get a lot of blame. But you have to blame Steph Curry. You have to blame Draymond Green too. It's not only Curry. Curry is doing what would help Steph Curry. Steph Curry should have, to me, in my opinion, Steph Curry should have gone to the coach. Hey, put Kuminga in the game. I have heard a couple years ago where they said, Curry said, put Kuminga in the game. Maybe he did. He did ask, or he suggested. Maybe his suggestion was not respected. But there's no way I'm starting Draymond Green. He's not a starter. There's no way I'm starting Pods. He's not a starter. Draymond Green is wash. I'm sorry. I respect the guy. He's one of the greatest defenders of all time. He still has defense. He connects the team. Maybe he doesn't start, but he can finish the game. Because of so many bad starts, Warriors always have to play from behind, trying to catch up. Kuminga has to start the next game. Tomorrow, Kuminga has to start. You have to start games really well. You are on old team. The best players are old. If you start and you always have to play from behind, trying to catch up, you're gonna get hurt. Steph Curry has to catch up. You have to change your starting lineup. Kuminga has to start. I don't know if Curry is gonna be the coach next season, because he looks like a guy who's done. He looks like a guy who's done with the team. And I think he damaged his reputation by not playing Kuminga. There's no excuses that Kuminga didn't play. I do not accept, there are no excuses Kuminga didn't play. There's a lot of things we have to Warriors fans and Warriors organization have to be grateful to Kerr. He brought an offense that made Steph Curry an Hall of Famer. Steph Curry could have been an Hall of Famer, but it cemented the legacy of Curry, Thompson, Green. But you have to evolve with the time. Kuminga will never know what is Kuminga if you don't play him. I agree, Mr. Thomas. I like her, but he's talking the pass. He's talking the pass. The pass is Draymond Green. Draymond Green should not start. I'm sorry. I know Melton is on minute restriction. So, whatever. But when he's off the minute restriction, he should be starting next to Curry. Kuminga should play small forward. Give Santos power forward and center post, whatever. But if Draymond Green start, okay, that's fine. I think Draymond Green is going to start because I'm not the coach. Okay, I'm not the coach. But to me, Draymond Green should not start because other teams, they just double, triple Steph, and they let the others shoot the bricks. I don't think Moody should start. I'm sorry. I think you need to, sometimes you need to shoot twos. It's not only two. So many times Warriors could beat a team, but they keep shooting those stupid threes. Stupid threes. Warriors are not that bad. It's because they shoot those stupid threes. Kuminga has to play. He goes to the basket now with Jimmy Butler, who put pressure on the other team, and Warriors get free throws. Who's gonna help Warriors get free throws? Kuminga. How many free throws that Kuminga shot last night? And I've seen Kuminga do a little bit of Jimmy Butler last night. I think he learned a little bit about that. I think Curry is gonna leave after this season. I think they're gonna be under coach, and Kuminga is still on the team. If he's traded, okay, that's fine. But the Warriors are scared to trade him because if he goes to another team, he becomes a great player. Ooh, look at the Clippers with SGA. Ooh, that's what the Warriors are scared of. Because they need a successor for Steph Curry. Steph Curry is going to be 38 in a couple months. That was wrong to bench the guy for all those months. That was wrong. That was wrong. That was wrong. That was wrong. Steve Curry, you were a player. You were benched. You had DNPs. But you were in your later years. If you don't play the guy, you're not gonna know what he makes mistake. How many turnovers I've seen Draymond Green make? He's a great passer, he said. This year, oh my God, Draymond Green turnovers every game. Some of those stupid, dumb passes I've ever seen. Steph Curry, all the time. Those stupid passes overhead all the time. He's 23 years old. 23. I remember when I was 23, I did some of the stupid stuff of all time. Stupidest stuff of all time. But I learned, I matured, I had more experience. He's not going to learn and mature when he sits on the bench. You have to let him play, let him play, let him play. He needs to start tomorrow. He needs to start tomorrow. Stop DNP the kid. That's too much, man. You have talent and you're wasting it? You have talent and okay. Some fans are crazy. When he first got in the league, I heard, oh, he's gonna be the next Kawhi. Yesterday morning, I heard he's Jordan, a rookie Jordan. I'm like, whoa, slow down. But I'm not gonna know because he's not playing. Last night, we should have not lost this game. They started the game 10-0. Because if you watch the game, the other players, the other team, They don't care about the other 4 starters. They only care about Curry. If you stop Curry, the starters don't even play a lot of minutes together. Yeah. Cannot play small ball anymore. The small ball era is over. The small ball era is over. I've seen other teams do the small ball, but it's okay you do the small ball when you have the lead. There are some games you need small balls, but against teams athletic like the Raptors, I'm not doing small ball. I'm not doing small ball. So, sorry for my rant. 26 minutes of rant of Kuminga needs to play. There's a dilemma. Kuminga asked for a trade. Is he going to be traded? I don't know. So there's rumor of Kuminga trade for MPJ from the Nets and picks. Warriors don't want to get rid of their picks, and they don't want contract over past next year, because next year could be Curry last season. They don't want contract next season, beyond next season. So MPJ says some stupid stuff on a podcast. They're trying to have character guys. So that's why I don't know if MPJ is going to happen. They're talking about Trey Murphy from New Orleans, but Orleans is going to ask for more. They're talking about Giannis. I'm sorry, I'll trade Draymond contract for Giannis contract. I'm sorry, Draymond, bye. Thank you for the memories. Bye. Draymond, Giannis, Steph Curry. Come on, man. I'm sorry, Draymond, bye. So, hey, last night I heard Cat Carl Anthony Towns. I'm like, heck no. We need dogs on the team. We don't need cats. We don't need kitties. We don't need kitty. Okay? We don't need kitty cat. Shooting, you know how big cat is, and he wants to shoot threes all the time. Oh, crazy, man. Crazy. Anyway, so the All-Star starters were, I'm going to say something briefly about the starters of the All-Star. Steph Curry is one of the starters. He's the only guy who's over 30 plus All-Star. What is that saying? He's going to be 38, from the Western Conference. You have Jokic, Doncic, look at Doncic, Nikola Jokic, look at Doncic, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Victor Wembanyama. That's the Western Conference starters. For the Eastern Conference, you have Giannis, Brunson, Jalen Brunson, Kate Cunningham, Tyrese Maxey, Jalen Brown. Well-deserved for all of them. By the way, my MVP right now is Jalen Brown. That's me. I mean, I didn't expect the Celtics to be second team in the East. I'm sorry. Jalen Brown is my MVP for me. So the reserve is going to be announced on February 1st. So we'll see. I don't think LeBron is going to. Hey, if LeBron is named as a reserve, the thing is rigged. I think reserve should be in Western Conference, should be Anthony Edwards, Kevin Durant, Kawhi Leonard. I don't know about Chet, but he might get in. Jamal Murray. Okay? Devin Booker is on consideration. Eastern, you have Donovan, you have Scotty Barnes, you have Jalen Johnson, and you have Jalen Durant. I don't think LeBron is an all-star this season. The team was way better when LeBron was hurt with his sciatica, and him and Doncic and Austin Reeves play better without LeBron. I'm not like the other haters who pile on LeBron. That's why I don't come here and as a topic and I said LeBron needs to retire or whatever. I appreciate his greatness, but I'm not a fan of his antics. All right. NFL. So I'm a casual fan of the NFL now. I mean, my favorite player was Peyton Manning. I was a fan of Peyton Manning. I had posters of everything Peyton Manning. And I watch occasionally. And the team that I watched a lot the last couple of years was the Chiefs. And now they're out. So I watched the playoff. Since the playoff been this year, it was very good. They're very good, very good. And last weekend, we had some very good games. I'm not gonna lie. We had some very good games. We had some very good games. The Broncos against the Bills. I picked the Bills and the Packers to go to the Super Bowl. And the stupid Bills lost the game because of stupid turnovers. 5 turnovers. Fumble. Josh Allen fumbled the ball before halftime, and they gave Broncos 3 points. Bo Nix was not even that good. You had 2 interceptions from Josh Allen and 2 fumbles from Josh Allen. Josh Allen lost the game, and they fired the coach. They fired the coach. Mark them. They fired the coach. There should have been a touchdown, but the wide receiver let the Bronco player take the ball away from him mid-air, and here you go. But I would commend Bo Nix. Bo Nix and the Broncos won the game. They're going to play in the conference finals. But Bo Nix is not going to play because he broke his foot. He broke his foot. He fractured his ankle. He's not going to play. So Stidham, who never played in the playoff, barely played, is going to be the starter next week against the New England Patriots. Yes, the Patriots are back in the conference finals. Tom Brady is the quarterback. No, sorry. That was years ago. It's not Tom Brady. It's Drake May. Is he the new Tom Brady? Is he going to take the Patriots to the championship and rebuild another dynasty with Bill Belichick? Oh, no. Bill Belichick is busy with his girlfriend in North Carolina. It's not Bill Belichick. It's the guy who was in his linebacker. They fired Jared Mayo for him. He was the coach of the Titans. Josh McDaniels returned to the Patriots and became his offensive coordinator. You don't know his name? His name is Mike Vrabel. Mike Vrabel. Yep. The Patriots way is back. The Patriots way is back. They beat the Texans. Texans have a great defense. But CJ Stroud, who they said rookie season, oh my God, he's going to be great. He's going to be Groot. And the last 2 seasons sucked. 4 interceptions from CJ Stroud. From hanging out with Amber Rose to throwing 4 interceptions. From talking on podcast, how great he is, to 4 interceptions. You had a great defense. Great defense. Drake May didn't play that well. Only threw 179 yards. He had 2 fumbles and 1 interception. Come on. And you lost the game? You let Drake May throw the ball to Stephen Cardi B Diggs? Come on. You fumble the ball trying to give the running back the ball, CJ Stroud. That was a major turning point in the game. Texans had a good defense to win a Super Bowl. And You suck. CJ Stroud. Unlike the previous quarterback, you are not getting massages, but it's like it feels like you were giving massages to the Patriots with all those interceptions. So in the AFC, it's going to be Broncos without a good quarterback. I don't know. They could win. Broncos have a good defense. Broncos versus the Patriots. Ooh, who is going to win? Ooh. Drake May is the altitude in Colorado. Ooh, that's a good question. Who's going to win? Oh my God. Broncos, Patriots. Wow. I think it's gonna depend on the Broncos quarterback. But Denver has a good defense. The coach of the Broncos has experience in playoffs and winning and going to the Super Bowl and win. So I'm picking the Broncos to surprise, to shock the world. Everybody's gonna pick the Patriots. I think the Broncos is gonna pull the offset and they're gonna win Sunday at 3:00. Okay. Let's go to the NFC. The Rams and the Bears, man. That was a good game. Rams and the Bears. That was a good game. That was a really good game. That was a really good game. It was going back and forth, back and forth. The defense was really good. At halftime, I think it was 10-10. And then I thought the Rams were gonna win. And then I saw Caleb Williams go all the way back and threw the ball. And there was like a couple Rams defenders. And the guy caught it and touchdown. I was like, whoa, what the heck? And then, of course, Chicago. It's MJ, the new MJ. He's Caleb. Yes, it's all over. No, they went to overtime. It's like when I was watching Michael Jordan on NBC, listening to Marv Albert. He's Jordan. Yes. That's what the Chicago fans were saying to me. Caleb Williams is the new MJ with the nail polish. With the nail polish. I think I said a couple weeks ago, I don't really care. I think other players way back in the day had those things and we never knew. They did it in public, inside privately. There's a lot of stuff we see now publicly. A bunch of people were doing it privately. I don't care. That's between Caleb Williams and his family. That's between Caleb Williams and his friend. That's his life. I don't really care. But touchdown. And then I was like, oh, Bears fans started to dream. Oh my God, conference finals for a long time. And then he threw the pick. I don't know what he was watching, what he was looking at. He threw the pick. And the potential MVP, Matthew Stafford, that they said was going to retire all offseason last year, drove the Rams, and they hit the field goal. Yeah. Rams beat the Bears. Very close game. Overtime. Overtime like the Bills game. Those three games were way better than the Seahawks against the Niners. The Niners' injuries finally caught up to them. The defense was missing Warner. They were missing Bosa, who I'm not a fan of. I'm not going to say more, but I'm not a fan of Bosa. But he's a good player. He's decent. They finally caught up to him. The first play of the game, the Seahawks returned the kickoff. Rashid Shaheed returned the opening kickoff 95 yards. And then the turnovers started to happen. 2 fumbles, interception. Fourth quarter drops. Sam Darnold didn't really play great. He was decent. He only threw for 124 yards. 124 yards. 1 touchdown. Really? It was the run game that was there. But they just lost the running back. Oh. 3 Washington touchdown from Kenneth Walker. Sam Darnold didn't have to do anything. He beat his former team. Niners. Interception, fumbles. You're not going to win. Josh Kittle was not there. Fred Warner was not there. Nick Bosa was not there. So that's not much for me to say. The Seahawks dominated the 49ers. So 49ers not going to play at home because Super Bowl is going to be in San Francisco. So too bad. So it's going to be Seahawks, Rams. Ooh, Seahawks beat, I remember Seahawks beat the Rams closely in the regular season. Ooh, Rams, it's gonna depend on Matthew Stafford. If Matthew Stafford, he's has a tendency to throw picks. So if Matthew Stafford's do not throw picks, I think Rams could win. But the Seahawks defense and the crowd and the 12 man, they're gonna be hype up. Is Sam Darnold is gonna show up because they lost part of their running game. So who am I picking? Ooh, that's tough. It's Seahawks beat the 49ers, and I said, oh no, 49ers, there's no way Seahawks beat the 49ers twice in a row. And I picked the 49ers. Is it gonna be the same for the Rams and the Seahawks? I am picking the Rams. I think the MVP of this season is gonna show up. He knows he threw so many picks against the Seahawks. So it's gonna be the Rams against the Broncos in the Super Bowl. Those are my picks. I wanted to do this story. The next topic. In the opening monologue, and that was not a monologue. In the opening of the show, I said that I wanted to be a sports journalist, and people tell me, "Oh no, Bruce, you're not gonna make money being a sports journalist." I was like, oh, "Okay, fine." I was naive or whatever. Maybe the person had my best interest. But I wanted to be a sports journalist. So even as a kid, I never thought sports journalists should be revealed for one team or the other. I think sports journalists should state the facts. Any kind of journalist should stick to facts. Just stay to the facts. Don't show you are for one side or the other. You may sympathize with somebody because you are human. You have human beings. You have feelings. You can understand what the person is saying, or I think sports journalists Uh, to me, it was about gathering information, and give it to us, the audience, like doing interviews, uh, get inside the infos, or create, write articles, or present a segment, or do the. I remember after the news, you have sport reporters or sport journalists, whatever. Do analysis or insight, but not really analysis and insight, because there's some people these days, I see other people not journalists, and they give analysis and insight. I know about beat reporters, columnists. There's difference: beat reporters, columnists, investigative journalists. I know about all this. Broadcasters, and commentators. I know about all this. But I know all of those people are humans, and there are days where their humanity shows. I remember when there was 2001, after the World Trade Center, you saw journalists say things about this. I remember when during COVID, I saw some journalists saying things about whatever, sports coming back, helping people mentally, whatever. Yes, I understand, but I'm not a sport journalist. But I wanted to be one, but I'm not. The guys on the show tomorrow, the Bucks Out, every Thursday at 8, they are journalists. And if you read their work or watch their work, they're really good at them. So if you want to know about them, just watch the Bucks Out and check them out. I always think that you have to be neutral. You don't have to show your preference for one way or the other. This lady who works for the Jacksonville Free Press, that's a story I wanted to cover last week, but unfortunately I couldn't do the show last week. But she's a reporter for the Jacksonville Free Press. The Jacksonville Free Press is I think it's like a journal, African American journal, that existed since 1986 in Jacksonville. It's a weekly newspaper, not a journal. Newspaper. In French, they say journal, and I say journal. It's newspaper that's serving the African American community in Jacksonville. And it was fun. I'm giving a little bit of background. It was funded by Rita Carter Perry. Rita Carter Perry is Florida's first female founding publisher. And Sylvia Perry, I think the daughter, is the managing editor. And Lane Jones Turpin, which is the journalist in question that I want to talk about, is the associate editor. So a couple of weeks ago, when the Jacksonville Jaguars lost their game against the Buffalo Bills, so Miss Jones Turpin took the mic. Had the opportunity to ask a question, but he did not ask a question. She said she gave some encouraging words to the coach of the Jaguars, Cohen. I think his name is Leon Cohen. Hold your head up. Hold your head up. You did a good job. I'm paraphrasing. Keep your head up. You do a good job. You did a good job. Whatever. Encouraging words. But here's the thing. I started to look, and I saw so many people come and say that there was breach of journalistic standards. There was Mark Long of the Associated Press, fake media, stating it should be embarrassing for the organization that credentialed her. You have ESPN Jenna Lane. She said While the comments were well-intentioned, such actions could undermine the decades of work women have done to be taken seriously in male-dominated sports spaces, where empathy is often viewed as lack of skills or bias. You have other critics like John Root or Ian Begley pointed that the time at the podium is limited and intended for pressing for accountability and answers that fans cannot get themselves. Personal words of kindness should be shared privately. So Miss Turpin, John Turpin, wanted to defend her 25 years as a member of the Black press. Often, we can like somebody, we can like what the person is doing, we can like, especially as a Black man, as a Black person, we don't get opportunities as much as other races get. I don't want to go there, but I have to. There's opportunities you get. But when we want to defend themselves, we always go back to some people, when they want to defend themselves, Black this, Black that. I understand the lady wanted to encourage the person. I agree with that. I agree, wanted to encourage the person. But I agree with some of those critics. This should have been shared privately. You have to say, I understand it's the Jacksonville Free Press. Of course, they're going to support Jacksonville Jaguars. Of course. But it's the press. You're not commentator. You're not a commentator. You're a journalist. You have to stay neutral. There's no cheering in the press box. You should not act like a fan. I'm sorry. It's well intended. This is what a granny would say to her grandchild. Oh, my son, you did a great job. Don't beat yourself down. But do it privately. You see in the press box where, sir, let me ask a question. And you finally have the chance to ask a question. And you do this. You cannot do this after. Okay, you could do it after you ask the question. You didn't ask the question. You just say that. Some of those critics were really harsh on the lady. What I just read, they said fake media, the organization that credentialed her should be ashamed, whatever. I don't think I would go that way. I would not say that. But in my opinion, I don't think that was the appropriate time to say those words. Now, these days, there's a lot of people who say they are sport journalists, and they look like commentators to me. They look like commentators to me. I'm not going to say them, but you know them. If you watch ESPN, there's a lot of people who say they are sports journalists, and they get personal with who they cover it. There's a hint in the comments. They get personal with who they are covering. That's not sports journalists for me. That's not what we're asking. We're not asking about your opinion or what you think about the person. We should not know what you think about the person. We should not know your feelings about the person. You're not a sports journalist. This is a show for you. A lot of time now these days, there's no more sports journalists. It's okay to show your heart. It's okay. Can report sports journalists have a heart? like the question said on the screen, yes, you can have a heart. But privately, or write an article and say, hey, the coach did a great job. It's unfair that whatever they lost, but they did this. Write an article or do a segment on TV. But time to ask question, I don't think that's appropriate time to show you have a heart. You can have a heart. You can have a heart. It's okay. So I wanted to say, I'm not blasting the lady. I think I respect her for her work, for 25 years of work, but she was wrong. You can have a heart. You can show. Of course, the coach is down. Of course, the coach is down. But she knows that she was wrong. She's gonna defend it, but she knows she was wrong. That was not the right time to ask that question. I'm not gonna say more because I'm not a sports journalist. I've never. I wrote articles for classes when I was taking a class on sports journalism. I wrote an article, but no. Yeah, and I hope more sports journalists. I think this is a teachable moment for sports journalists. Do not show your heart in this. I mean, you can show your heart, but that was not the right moment to show it. Not the right moment when you are at a press conference. Really? At a press conference? All right. That's all for tonight. There's basketball playing right now. I see the Knicks who have been struggling. They are beating, crushing the Nets. 41-64. Third quarter. Will the Knicks lose? We'll see. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening if you are listening. Remember, Armchairing is there every Wednesday, 8 p.m. If there's no weather issues, if there's no sibling issues, if there's no issues. See you next time. Peace.
Armchairing with Bruce Morrow on the One Podcast Network.